Hey, can I ask you something? Have you ever wondered why rich people don't seem to pay as much tax as the rest of us? Maybe you work hard, get your paycheck, and boom, taxes take a big chunk. But then you see billionaires like Donald Trump or Robert Kiyosaki saying they pay little or even zero in taxes. And the crazy part, they say it out loud. On TV, in books, online. So wait, if not paying taxes is illegal, how do they get away with it? Why does the government arrest some people for tax fraud, but lets these rich folks walk free? Well, here's the truth. There are two main ways to pay fewer taxes. One way is illegal. It's called tax evasion. The other way is legal. It's called tax avoidance. Let's talk about both, starting with the bad one. Tax evasion. 1. Tax evasion, the illegal way. Tax evasion means lying to the government. It means you're supposed to pay taxes, but you cheat and try to pay less or nothing at all. Let me show you how people do it. Example 1, underreporting income. Let's say Bob wants to buy a house from John. The real price is $700,000. If the tax is 10%, they're supposed to pay $70,000 in taxes. But Bob and John decide to lie. They tell the government the house was only sold for $500,000, not $700,000. Now, they only pay $50,000 in taxes and save $20,000. Sounds clever? Nope, it's illegal. They lied about the price to cheat the system. Example 2, hiding assets. Now meet Tom. Tom is rich and lives in America. He doesn't want to pay a lot of taxes. So he hides his money in a secret bank account in Switzerland. Why Switzerland? Because it used to be super private. The banks didn't tell other countries about people's money. So Tom earns lots of money, sends it to Switzerland, and doesn't tell the IRS, the US tax people. No report, no taxes. But guess what? That's also illegal. Hiding your money from your country is tax evasion. And these days, Switzerland and other places are starting to share info. So if Tom does this now, he could get caught. Example 3, fake deductions. Now meet Sarah. She owns a pizza shop. She made $100,000 this year. Normally, the government lets her subtract business expenses before paying tax. If she spends $30,000 to fix her shop, she only pays tax on the $70,000 that's left. But what if she lies? Let's say she really spent only $3,000, but she tells the government she spent $30,000. That's a fake deduction. Now she pays less tax, keeps more money, and cheats the system. Illegal again. So what's the point? Tax evasion is breaking the law. It's lying, cheating, and hiding money. And yes, it can send you to jail. But wait, there's a smarter and legal way to pay fewer taxes. It's called tax avoidance. And that's where things get really interesting. Enjoying the video? If yes, give it a like and maybe even subscribe. Just a little click helps a lot. 2. Tax avoidance, the legal way. Okay, now let's talk about something smarter. Tax avoidance. This isn't about lying. It's about using the law to pay less taxes. Yes, it's totally legal, and rich people are really good at it. Think of it like a big maze. The government built the maze with tax rules, and the rich just found smart shortcuts inside it. They didn't break the maze, they just played better. Let me show you how they do it. Example 1, controlled foreign corporations, CFC. Big companies sometimes make new companies in other countries, places with very low or zero taxes. These are called tax havens. Let's talk about a real example. Apple, yeah, the iPhone company. From 2009 to 2012, Apple saved $44 billion in taxes. That's a crazy number. How? Apple created a company in Ireland called Apple Corporation Euro. This company didn't have any workers. It was just a name on paper. But here's the trick. Ireland's tax rule says, you pay taxes where your company is managed. America's tax rule says, you pay taxes where your company is born, incorporated. So Apple made their company in Ireland, but managed it from America. The result? Neither country asked for tax. Boom. Apple avoided paying taxes. All legal. Example 2, transfer pricing. Here's another smart move. Transfer pricing. This is when big companies move money around between their own offices in different countries. Let's say a guy named John owns a shoe company called Wee Wee Shoes in the USA. He just made $1 million selling shoes. Now, the US tax is 35%, so he should pay $350,000 in taxes. But John doesn't want to do that. So he opens another company in the Cayman Islands, where taxes are zero. Then he tells the US company, hey, you need to pay $800,000 to the Cayman company for using the shoe design and brand name. Now, only $200,000 is left in the US. He pays 35% tax on that, which is just $70,000. And the $800,000 in the Cayman account, no tax at all. So instead of losing $350,000, he only pays $70,000 and keeps $930,000. That's a big win. But there's one problem. He can't bring the money back to the US without paying tax on it, so he waits. In 2018, the tax rate dropped from 35% to 21%. Now he brings back the $800,000 and pays less tax. Clever, right? Example 3. Using dividends. Let's talk about Warren Buffett, one of the richest guys ever. He once said, I pay less tax than my secretary. How? Because he doesn't earn a salary like most people. Instead, he makes money from dividends and investments. Here's the trick. If you earn $100,000 from a job, you might pay 22% to 24% in tax. But if you earn $100,000 from investments, you might only pay 15%. So Buffett earns more, but pays a smaller tax rate. Why? Because dividends and capital gains are taxed less than regular income. Again, totally legal, just really smart. Tax avoidance versus tax deferral. Don't get confused. Now here's something important that confuses a lot of people. Some things that look like tax avoidance are actually called tax deferral. So, what's the difference? Well, tax avoidance means you pay less tax overall, maybe even zero. But tax deferral means you're just delaying the tax. You still have to pay it later. Let me give you an example. There's something in the US called a 401k retirement account. If you put money in it today, you don't pay taxes on it right now. But when you take that money out when you retire, the government will tax you then. So you're not avoiding taxes, you're just pushing them into the future. Another example is something called a 1031 exchange in real estate. If you sell a building and make a profit, you'd normally have to pay tax on that profit. But if you use that money to buy another building right away, the tax is delayed. You'll still pay it one day, but not now. That's tax deferral, not full avoidance. Why doesn't the government stop this? You might be thinking, if billionaires are using all these tricks, why doesn't the government just stop them? Well, it's not that simple. Many of these laws were created to help businesses grow. Things like deductions, credits, and tax rules for investments were made to encourage jobs, build new companies, and support the economy. But rich people hire the best lawyers and accountants who know how to use these rules in clever ways. And sometimes, rich people even donate to political campaigns. This gives them power to influence laws, so the rules often stay in their favor. That's why it feels like normal people pay a lot, and billionaires pay so little. What can we learn from this? Here's the truth. The rich are not magic. They're just using the system better. And guess what? You can also learn how to use legal tax strategies as you grow your income. It's not just for billionaires. It's for anyone who wants to be smart with money. Always follow the law, but also learn the rules. Because sometimes the smartest thing is not how much you earn, it's how much you keep. So remember, tax evasion equals illegal and dangerous. Don't do it. Tax avoidance equals legal and smart if done right. Tax deferral equals just paying later, not less. If this video helped you understand how taxes work for the rich, give it a like and hit subscribe for more cool topics explained in a simple way. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.